Hi, this is Dr. Adrian Tenerife Sacristan and welcome to our online classroom at Kuya Prof TV.
Kuya Prof TV gives something cool, useful, and a life-changing tool.
Welcome back to our classroom. Our topic today is about project contracts. But before we discuss that, let's talk about first our objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students will be able to learn and explain the types of contracts and various terms and conditions. And number two, measure the success of proposal efforts. Okay, to start with, as project management student, you must understand the importance of project contract. The comprehensiveness and contract of the project contract play a vital role in the success of a project. The conduct of the delivery and acceptance of the product and service rely heavily on the contract. Okay, you have to understand that. Now, the Free Dictionary defines project contract as an agreement between two or more parties to accomplish a certain goal in a certain way. For example, a project contract may take the form of an agreement between a builder and a property owner in which the builder agrees to build a house on the property by a certain time in a certain way. And in exchange, the property owner makes certain remuneration. Project contracts are important to have in the event of a dispute. Contracts gives project managers the chance to pass off liability for certain projects aspects to the contractor, ensuring that the business cannot be held liable and directly responsible for activities it did not perform. Now, they serve as a good record of commitments for both parties. That is a contract. That is the beauty of contract. Two parties agree to work together and forge a connection that is fostered well and beneficial on both sides, can last years. A contract is the visual representation of that relationship. Contracts are also hold each party to their original agreement. Let's now talk about contracts. Just because the contractor has been selected as the winner does not mean it can start doing the work. Before the property can proceed, a contract must be signed between the customer and the contractor. Now you have to understand this following principle. A contract is a vehicle for establishing good customer-contractor communications and arriving at a mutual understanding and clear expectations to ensure project success. It is an agreement between the contractor who agrees to provide a product or service that is deliverable or deliverables and the customer who agrees to pay the contractor a certain amount in return. Another is the contract must clearly spell out the deliverables the contractor is expected to provide. And lastly, there are basically two types of contracts, fixed price and cost reimbursement. Now let's talk about fixed price contract. In a fixed price contract, the customer and the contractor agree on a price for the proposed work. The price remains fixed unless the contractor and customer agree on changes. This type of contract provides low risk for the customer since it will not pay more than the fixed price. This type of contract is high risk for the contractor because if the cost of completing the project is higher than the original plan or originally planned, the contractor will make a lower profit than anticipated or may even lose money. Fixed price contracts are most appropriate for projects that are well defined and entail little risk. Okay, now let's talk about cost reimbursement contract. In the cost reimbursement contracts, the customer agreed to pay the contractor for all actual costs, labor, materials, and so forth, regardless of amount plus some agreed upon profit. Now, this type of contract provides high risk for the customer since contractor costs can overrun the proposed price. In cost reimbursement contracts, the customer usually requires that throughout the project, the contractor regularly compare actual expenditures with the proposed budget and the forecast cost at completion. This type of contract is usually low risk for the contractor because the customer will reimburse all costs. The contractor cannot lose money on this type of contract. Okay, this is very beautiful. Cost reimbursement contract are most appropriate for project that involves risk. Now let's talk about the terms and conditions of contracts. The following are some miscellaneous provisions that may be included in project contracts. Number one, misrepresentation of cost. Here, it states that it is illegal for the contractor to overstate the hours or costs expended on contracts. Number two, notice of cost overruns or schedule delays. It outlines the circumstances under which the contractor must notify the customer any schedule delays. And number three, approval of some contractor. It indicates here that when the contractor needs to obtain approval before hiring a contractor, the, the customer must be notified through this. And number four, customer furnished equipment or information. It provides the list of the items that the customer will provide to the contractor throughout the project and the dates by which the customer will make these items available. Number five, patents. It covers ownership of patents that may result from conducting the project. Number six, disclosure of proprietary information. It prohibits one party from disclosing project confidential information, technologies, or processes. Number seven, internal considerations. Specifies the accommodations that must be made for customers from other countries. Number eight, termination. It states the conditions under which the customer can terminate the contract, such as non-performance by the contractor. Number nine, terms of payment. Addresses the basis on which the customer will make payments to the contractor. Number four, bonus penalty payments. States that the customer will pay the contractor a bonus if the project is completed ahead of schedule or exceeds other customer performance requirements. Some contracts include a penalty provision whereby the customer can reduce the final payment to the contractor if the project is not completed on schedule or if performance requirements are not met. And lastly, changes. It covers the procedure for proposing, approving, and implementing changes to the project scope or schedule. So those 11 items are part of the contract's terms and condition. Now let's proceed to the measuring proposal success. How do we measure success of a proposal? You have to consider that contractors measure the success of their proposal efforts by the number of times their proposals are selected by customers, or by the total dollar value of their proposals that are selected. For example, we have to consider the win ratio, the number of proposals a contractor won compared to the number of proposals the contractor submitted to various customers over a particular time period. It gives equal weight to all proposals. Number two, the total dollar value. The total dollar value of proposals the contractor won as a percentage to the of the total dollar value of the proposals the contractor submitted to various customers during a specific time period. It gives more weight to proposals with larger dollar amounts. And another, some contractors submit proposal in response to as many RFEs as they can with the hope that they will eventually win the fair share. Their philosophy is that if they don't submit a proposal, they don't have any chance to win. By submitting more proposals, they increase their chances of winning more contracts. So those three are to be considered. How do you measure proposal success? Other contractors are more selective in submitting proposals. They respond only to those RFEs when they think they have a better than average chance of winning the contract. These contractors seriously consider the bid or no bid decision process in responding to RFEs and submit fewer proposals but attempt to have a high win ratio. So those are the things that you have to consider when you would like to measure if your proposal effort is a success or not. Now, these are the things that are necessary in developing and submitting your contract to your customers. So it ends our discussion about contracts. I hope you learned something today. And if you think that there are other students who needs to learn about contracts and need to see this video, please don't hesitate to share this video to them so that like you, they will also learn uh, about contracts or how to develop contracts. Again, thank you very much. I hope to see you again in our next lesson.